Good morning, everyone that is currently here. We'll just give it one more minute and then we'll dive right in and get started. Okay, we're gonna jump in. Well, hello and good morning. My name is Ketty and I'll be taking you on this tour today of Aptivata. Welcome to our Back to the Basics training. I'm grateful to be here, so please feel free to answer and ask any questions. This training again is targeted to those who are new to Aptivata or trying to learn more. Again, please feel free to write into our Q&A portion. We have that little box below that you can write into and we'll answer those as we go. And then at the end, we'll have a Q&A as well of any questions you have that we can answer. I do have some of my client success team here, Ryan and Jay, that'll be able to help with your questions too. So we're excited to be here. Please feel free to make sure that you understand everything and that we can be able to guide you in the right direction. Great, so I'm gonna go over our agenda. We will just dive into a little of our account manager, how that functions and how to make sure everything's set up correctly. We'll get into our promotion apps and show the options that you have and the things you have available for you to work with and create awesome contests. We'll get into our user base and how that can be helpful to you and your team. We have great templates that we can dive into, our help page and how our Idea Studio can work. And then again, how to get help, how we're here for you and can support you. So we will dive right into Aptivata. Okay. Awesome. So this is my account here. I've just logged in, as you can see. I have here my home tab. And so we can just go through kind of our stats and see what we can get into right in the beginning. Give my page a little second to catch up with me. All right, so we have our home page here, just located at the very top. This will give you a stats overview of your page, things that's going on, how active is your account? Are you gaining new users? How active are your users on that end? And that gives you an idea throughout the year. Okay, like we do really well in December, maybe we struggle in the summer. Just a place for you to give reference of where you're at. You do have an audience demographic here, who uses your account, you're contesting, who finds it most interesting, who are you trying to target. Then we also have these tabs up here in the top right, your audience insight. And this is great to see, okay, how many contests are we running with Sweepstakes and how many quizzes are we running? How productive are they? What's our engagement? So this really just breaks it down for you so you can have a better understanding of who's doing what and how we can always improve. That's our goal, right? Then we have our platform insights. This is the same thing too. Again, you have your active admins, your total active promotions, how well they're doing, if they have dips. So really anything that you need for stats, you'll find here. So jump in here after, play around, just discover and explore with maybe those insights that you can bring back to your team and that you can report on and just see your total engagement there. Next, I'm just going to dive into your account manager. Now that's a little key tab on the left-hand side. Your account manager is everywhere where you are going to be able to see all of the people that have access to this account. Now, what's nice about this is you can go ahead and you can add in, you can add your own admins if you need to. You can all do this on your end. This doesn't have to be done through us. If you need someone to have access to your account and they need to jump in and look at what's going on, we can say, okay, let's come to our details here. And we can say, all right, well, here's who has access to this account. We're going to go in, we're change their permissions. So maybe it's a sales rep and they only need to be able to view the contest or maybe even just add sponsors or view stats. You can remove what you don't want them to have access to or what you do want them to have access to. So just know that option's there. If you don't care, that's okay. You can leave all the permissions on. But data is sensitive and there is a way to protect that even within your own users. So know that option is available. Some of you will have an SSO enabled. So if that is right, you'll already be able to log in. You'll log in through your company's account that they've given you. So you'll kind of know how that works on your end. But just know that is something available for some of you. All right, so again, please know this is here. We do have integrations, and this is kind of a good place to kind of talk about this. Many different kinds of third-party integrations that we work with, if that's MailChimp or PostUp or Campaigner. There's many more lists beyond that, Braze. Please talk to us, and if that's something you want to connect and get working with, we can connect that to your contest, and I'll show you a little more about that in a minute. And we can get that active and using so that information is just being automatically transferred into those newsletters, into those mailing lists. And so you're not having to handle or deal with any of that information. So it makes it easier on you and makes everything a little more protected. If there is an integration that we don't have, feel free to write into us and talk to us. We're willing to work with that. We're willing to see what we can do and add in those integrations later. That is something we want to offer and have you know that we're willing to look into integrations outside of just mailing lists and things that you feel like would work really well for you. So again, talk to us, see what we can do. We'll make it work. All right, so this is your account here. Something too to know, I have a child account attached. You can see here's the main account we're in, and here's my child account. If you are running a syndicated contest, this kind of gives a good idea of, say, let's say I'm running my syndicated contest here in my Ketty account. I can go ahead and I can sync that to any accounts below me. So if I have, this is my top account, I could sync it to this Ketty account and I can run on 2 contests at the same time. So just knowing when creating top syndicated accounts, it does need to be created on that parent level. And that's kind of that parent-child relationship you'll see here. So just something to keep in mind, and I'll show, again, a little more about that in a second. So I'm going to jump down and come into our promotions. This is the bread and butter. This is where you'll spend all your time at. I want to give a little bit of a preview of a couple of our top ones that are used, just to give you an idea of what they look like and how this can benefit you. Something that you'll probably use a lot is our sweepstakes. Now, as you know, a sweepstakes is a type of contest where you can have a random winner chosen from the group of users or people participating in your contest. It gives you a place to reward your audience, gain social media followers, and then collect user data. So this is a good place to be. It is an easy contest to be set up. So we can come in here and say, okay, well, here's the graphic I wanted. I can go ahead, I added my image in here. This is the size that I need, and you can change that too if that's something you're working with. All your design is set up here where you can pull up your entry form and then add in what you feel is needed. So I'll go through a couple of these steps just to give you an idea, because all of our entry forms are pretty much the same throughout all of the apps. So you'll see this form throughout everything, and it's very similar. So we do have this little step 1 here. And this step 1 here, you'll have your entry type. So if that's email, if that's Facebook, if that's Twitter, whatever you feel like would be best for you to gain information. Yes, you can use like a Facebook, and it still is gathering that email address. So for right now, I just have email and Facebook. I want the visitors entering once per day. We can come into step 2. Any information I want to gather, or even my sponsor information needs to gather, this is the place to do it. So first and last name is always required in all of our contests. And then you do have, for me, I have the city, their favorite color, state. If there's a code that you're giving, we do have many options for keywords. And this is one that we just have set up. They can upload files. And then again, more keywords and anything else you want to add. So our field options are located here. And again, this is something you can come in and play around with and know what you have available, just so you can give that to your sales team, or if you are a part of a sales team, to take that idea and know how to sell this and know what options you have available, what information you can gather. So again, our very basic user fields, where they're from, who they are, information you're trying to gather, like drop downs, yes or no questions, colors, numbers, dates, anything, images, our social fields. Now, this is really important for our step 3. Now, I'll jump over to that right now. And you'll see that we have many options here. Our Facebook likes, Twitter's, Instagram, um, YouTube video subscribing, Snapchat, Spotify, TikTok, Alexa skill, LinkedIn follow. So many options here. This is something really great for you to be able to gain user follows for yourself, for your own station, and for your sponsors. So we can come in and be like, all right, well, I wanted my Instagram. That's important to me, or our TikTok follow is important. So we're going to add this up to 10 points for completing. So you can tie in which kind of bonus points you'd like to every bonus form, and that gives you a good idea. We also have our liked on Facebook, and just something to be aware of and not be alarmed by is you do see a smiley face when you use your Facebook like. Now, this is because according to Facebook rules, we cannot reward people for liking people's Facebook pages. So this is a way that they can still add it in and they can still like it, but legally we cannot tie in any bonus forms to that. So that is why that is there. Kind of a workaround with Facebook to give you an idea is you can have somebody share this contest on Facebook and they can receive 10 entries for each person who does enter in through that link that they shared on Facebook. So there is ways to really engage Facebook. Awesome. And now I will move on to our step 4. Now, this is our thank you message. I just want to give a quick idea about how this is helpful. I've seen coupons added. I've seen direct links. You can redirect this link to your sponsor's website, to your website. So never leave this blank. I can see this being really useful, and it is real estate for you to be able to find and sell. So again, brief overview about that. And just gives you an idea of what you can do and what you are gathering. Now, this is new for us. We just added this in recently. This is the use gate. This is when if you are running an alcohol sponsor or even alcohol contest, something that can't be viewed by the age of 21 or 18, you can come in, you can change the age that can be viewed and what the gate name is, and they'll have to enter in their birthday before they see anything else in the background that's being sponsored. So it's exciting. It's nice to know this is here. It's easy to turn on. So just so you're aware. Awesome. Now, most of our contests are set up where we have our tabs up here at the top right-hand side. Now, this will give you the chance to check your stats, download the CSV files with all the information, choosing winners, and then attaching any of those third-party integrations that we mentioned earlier. So we can go ahead, we can place in prizes, our start and end times. You can come in here and look at your fine prints and terms and conditions. Just to give you an idea that this is available. Now, before we move on, I want to look up publishing options and just talk a little bit about embedding this on your website. Now, depending on what source that you use or have for your website, it might be WordPress, might be something else. Take a look at these and you'll see where it needs to appear, what needs to be placed in. If you do have WordPress, to install our Aptivata plugin, and then you can go ahead and place the codes from here on out if this is a completely new account for you. So just know that this is located in your publishing options. And it's fairly simple, should be really easy for you to get set up. Great. And just to give you a show of our stats, so this is much like our home stats that you see, but this is just for this contest. You will have your entries, your Facebook shares, and our Twitter shares. These will appear according to what you've selected to be shown up in the entry form. You have your hashtags that we talked about, TikTok follows. So this is good information if you want to just break it down and see what's doing what. You can print this, you can save this if it needs to be sent to someone or exported. And then you can choose specific dates too. So again, can be very helpful. Your download tab Pretty simple. You can search for users here if you're looking for somebody specific. You can start and end times of what information you want downloaded, and then go ahead and download that CSV file. It is always downloaded at a CSV file, but this can be converted, as you know, to an Excel or whatever works best for you to see this information. And then choose winner. So choose winner is really nice. We do have a couple options here to change things. If there is someone that, if this is a continuously ran contest throughout the year, you're picking a winner every month. You don't want the last person that won last month to win this month. So you can exclude people who have previously won. And you can change this information according to what you have going on. Again, people who are eligible, how many winners you want, and you can go ahead and choose them. So fairly simple. It does add them to this previously winners from this promotion, and you can download that information all at once. You could have all your 10 winners and all their information in one spot. So awesome. I know it went up pretty quick, but hopefully that gives you a better idea. So when I jump into a couple of these other ones, it makes it fairly easy to see how this functions. Like I said, one of our top ones is Sweepstakes, and that's what we just viewed. But something else that's really fun and cool to see is our galleries. So I'm just going to look at that real quick and give a little showcase of that. Now, you might jump into gallery and be a little alarmed with what is going on right here. This is actually fairly easy to set up, and all that you really have to do is, again, that same entry form, built it out the same, and then you'll go ahead and you'll just connect which information you want appearing on the front end. So here, the first name is going to be shown in the author fields. I want a title, and then I want my images being appeared. So this just gives you a better idea, but don't be alarmed by this. All that you're going to do is just connect information you want. And if you say, okay, well, I don't want a title, that will be removed. So just to give you a show of that. Many field options there, the same that's within the sweepstake. Now, this is the desktop layout for a gallery. This can be set up however you want. You can come in, you can move this down, you can add in a header image, you can just have a background. That is all within your own design. But this is fairly easy. You can see, okay, well, it's the previous, what it will look like. Well, okay, I want bigger boxes. We can come down to our layout and we can change our spacing, our thumbnail size. We can come in and say, oh, well, we want this to be trendy, different styles and layout. So again, I just want you to get an idea of what is available and how to make this work. So we'll move this down. We could add in a header, and then we can be ready to go. So these are really fun for, we've seen awesome. I mean, there's always, you're always gonna do well with an animal contest, if that's a dog costume contest or a baby contest, photo contest. But we've also seen really creative contests with news weather stations and having children place in their videos of them reporting the news. So this can be really fun. This can be really simple. Either way, you'll get a lot of feed through. You get a lot from your users and participants, and it really attracts people. So this is a fun contest to use. Same thing here that you saw in Sweepstakes. You have your start and end times, your terms and conditions, and all of that. The same publishing option button. And you'll have the same submission, stats, downloads, and winners. The only thing different is the submission tab. Now within the submission tab, you will have your photos come in, but just know that you will have to approve them before they go live. This is for the protection of your own website and what's being shown. You'll go ahead and see this information pop up, approve it or reject it, and it will go live as soon as it's approved, and it will not if it's rejected. So just know that that is there. Great. Please, again, feel free to ask any questions in the Q&A if you would like to be answered as we go through this. Great. Well, the next step here is our quizzes, surveys, and polls. So we went over our sweepstakes, our galleries, and then we have this awesome option for our quizzes, surveys, and polls. Now, they are different. So we do have our quizzes, which is where you can do like a graded or an outcome quiz. And that is something they can follow through. It's which celebrity are you, or which holiday season do you like the most? Things like that, that you can have a graded outcome, or have an idea of what happens at the end. We do have templates for these that are set up, and I can show you that in a second if you just like to use this for entertainment. Next, we have our surveys and polls. Now, this is in one app here, our surveys and polls. It's just another way for you to advertise and gain interest for users, but you have the option for multiple choice and adding images. So getting an idea of people's thoughts are about something, or that survey you want to see what they choose or what they're listening to. So just to give you an idea of what that survey looks like. Now, this is the place where the form is different currently. You will see, again, that first name, last name, same kind of information you're gathering, but the setup's a little different. You'll have that same header image that you can add in here. We can change these colors. All that design is an option. But the next is we'll have the questions. So this is the different part, is you can jump in and say yes and no, yes and no, ask those questions, see people's feedback. We can see, all right, what do they think about this, and get their ideas. So you can ask as many questions as you want. You can go ahead and add different sections. And if they say yes, it moves them on to, okay, we'll see what they have to say here about this second question. So this is something to play with and see that how you can make work and function for you, but they are fun. They can be really interactive, and people do seem to love to take surveys, especially if it's something they find interested themselves. So that's a fun idea. Great. So we do have a couple other apps I just want to briefly introduce so that you know they are available. We do have our sports app. Now this is like a bracket style pick'em app, where they can go through, they can make that bracket, and then they have this contest for like a sports bracket. But recently, we did introduce something called our popularity bracket. That's this right here. This is a great way to use that bracket style contest, but on something that could be more interesting, like that food, which food is better, tacos or burgers, whatever you decide. And you can have that 16 or even 64 participant bracket. So this can be made for your own personalization, or top music of the summer, or whatever your idea is. This is available. So your sports and popularity are similar, but the sports is made more directed to that sports team's setup, and this can be made in any kind of functionality. All right. Next is our Instant Win. Now, this is a unique app. Instant Win, you have a lot of ability to be creative here. It allows you to assign codes to prizes. So as you can see, it says it works great within live situations. So you can go ahead, you can assign codes to people, or you can assign prizes to those codes and hand out those codes at an event, or email those codes out, or hide them within your website, and people can go ahead and claim those prizes. So I've seen this, again, be done with hidden codes within prizes within websites, and people can find those and claim them. So it can be really interactive and fun. But again, a lot of room for creativity in Instant Win. Next is our a basic form. So just know there is a form in case you just need to get people's information or have them sign up for a newsletter, whatever that is. And our live stream. So we have our live stream. This is a newer addition as well. If you're wanting to host a live stream contest, we do have an app for that where it can bring in that feed from Facebook or YouTube, and you can have in that comment section, you can choose winners through this. So lots of fun ideas. Kind of might seem overwhelming right now, but just know many options for this, many ways for you to reach out to your users and make this exciting for both of you. Okay, well, I'm going to move down and get into our templates here. Just so you know, this is available. We have an awesome in-house graphic designer, and she creates these wonderful graphics for us that you have full ability to use. So if that is for Black History Month, we have some great quizzes and some great apps and contests that she made here. Some of them have already questions to them if they're a quiz or a survey. Some of them are just designs and layouts. You do have access to the PDF files here. So if there is something that you're not in love with, go ahead, download this, get the PDF file and the assets, and change it, make it your own. So we have Mother's Day coming up here a little bit, plenty of options here for you to use. So again, just know this is available and how you have access to this. Our surveys and polls, like I talked about, and this will appear here for me, and we can be able to see all the kinds of different options we have going on. And these, like I said, usually have preset questions in them. So it's something you could, okay, we don't have any time right now. We'll just throw this contest on here. Make sure we're keeping our users interactive. Great. And then we have our user base. Now, anyone who is entering your contest, all that information goes directly to your user base. So if you're looking for, say you have maybe a women's conference coming up or something in your local town, and you're looking to send out a newsletter to that target audience that gave that information in the contest, feel free to come in, add in that conditional, see who you have, and try to find those matching users. Their information will pull up here, and then you can download that CSV file of all that information. So a good place to find this information quickly and make it easier for you to find any of those conditionals that you need. All right. Well, that was a quick overview and fast of all of your ability and promotions and the contests you can build. I did want to show you our idea studio and just give you an idea what we have here. Something that we do run, if you're not familiar, is our national contests. Now, this is huge if you don't have any sponsors, or even if you do, and you're looking to fill in that space and want a free prize. Technically, we are giving away the cash prizes for these. Go ahead and join in, sign up. So you can see our Mother's Day coming up. It gives you the run dates for it, when the sign up closes, and then what the prize is. And we take care of everything. We have the rules there for you. We have the design, the setup. We just install it on your page, and you go ahead and you run this contest. So take a look, see if this interests you, and maybe your station will win that $1,000 for one of your users, and it's exciting. So I would get in on it, sign up for all the national promotions you can, especially these ones coming up with the mom and dad. These are always easy and quick, and just good contests to keep your users entertained. Great. Well, come here again if you need to find any case studies. We have news here, any updates we make. We have our templates here as well. So this is a good place just to gain those ideas and give you direction. So we're grateful to have your help here. We do have our help studio too. So if you're looking for a specific question, or you want just a detailed training about sweepstakes and want that full walkthrough, jump in and get that training from us, or that gallery or sports. So we really want to make sure you have all the information you need at your fingertips, and that this can be a quick and easy thing for you. Again, I'll open up a Q&A right now. Any questions that anybody has before we end this today? Okay, well, sounds good. I want to give you these resources here. Please feel free to write in to our support at Aptivada email. We really try hard to make sure we get to you very quickly and get your either questions or information given to you as fast as possible. Our phone number is 801-901-2011, and we do have our live chat within the platform. So we're excited to hear from you, and we hope you all have a great day. Thanks for attending.